Good morning, my web designer students. We're gonna talk about WordPress. WordPress is something I'm using a lot more than before, and I have at least 20 sites with WordPress. I like the kind of programs that I develop my own. WordPress, you have to rely on a particular theme that you're installing. Then you have to take other classes, learn PHP and advanced CSS to kind of manage your or edit the way that your website actually looks. But at this, since it's just an introductory course, we only gonna show you how to work with the basic WordPress software or system, and how to add themes and work with the plugins and other things like that. So the very first thing you want to do is open a browser. Make sure you have an internet connection, and you can do that anywhere. And you want to type the following in here. You want to put your username, in this case is mine, and blogs.highline.edu. This is actually the website I want to log in. I mean, a website that I can see, but to want to log in to, let me show you how it looks like first. So this is how the website looks. When you order a new WordPress page, this is exactly how it's going to look like. Very basic, very plain, and does not have any theme. And the theme, the way it looks, and so on. So in order to start editing and add a theme you want, so I'll do the following. And the college does not provide you, enough content or enough software or themes or plugins that you can to work the way that WordPress should really look. But that's fine. We'll give you that good basic concepts in order to do that. So in order to go to your WordPress, at the end of your domain name, and this type / and it's common to do WP -admin. The college may give you some other information to log in, which will be the exact same thing. It doesn't make a difference. So I click enter to go into the WordPress, and you can see this is the basic WordPress inside your system. This doesn't show you everything, but I think it shows you enough. I'm gonna show you my other websites. This is my which one is that? That's Sam Al-Khalili. I'm sorry. So this is my WordPress personal WordPress, samalkhalili.com, and this is my business, samdatasolution.com. Now here is done with HTML5. It's very responsive, very quick, very adaptable. I love HTML5. It's something which we talked about. Where the WordPress here, it's a little bit limited what you can do, but it's really fast to create a website quickly and updated. And the way that dashboard looks is much different. I have a lot more to work with than I have with Highline. But Highline is giving you really good information. So the first thing I need to do for WordPress, I want to set up my WordPress settings in order to work out of it correctly. So let's go here. So this is the dashboard. The dashboard tells sometimes if you're doing that to another company, you're gonna see different messages, especially the messages the company that supports. Like I work with iPage and GoDaddy, and the first thing I have when I set up WordPress messages to purchase the full version plugin, or message to purchase the full version of that particular theme. Something if you want to consider doing that or not, but I chose not to do this because maybe I'm cheap. Anyways, so this is the welcome message from the WordPress. WordPress again is free and it's always changing, so always you have to keep looking up at the updates. And here is the Jetpack. Jetpack it's really status about the traffic that comes into your website, and this is really developed, was not this nice in the past. So the statics for the website, what pages they visited, how many people they come, performances on WordPress applications that you added into your website. And here it's for more features if you are interested. We're not gonna really talk about this. Again, this is a little bit for more advanced stuff. So I'm gonna go in here in the sub menu. I'm gonna start going a little bit different. Here, if you want to set up Jetpack, you can go set up Jetpack if you're interested. You can connect to Jetpack using maybe your Google account is better, or your personal account. That is also fine. I'll come back to post, media, and pages. I'm gonna jump right away to comments because this is the first thing I wanted to do. Oh, look at that! Comments here are completely different than actually this is comments made by the WordPress to test your comment is working. So I don't need that. I can show you the comment in here. Let me see. Visit site. So this is the comments right here. So there's one comment, and this is the comment right here. So this is the comment I'm gonna go ahead and delete. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this open for now. I'll come back to it. Select on this, bulk action, move to trash, and apply. So I just deleted the comment. I mean, the comments are good for blogs if you wanted to do this, but if you're gonna work with a business, then I'm not gonna go ahead and add comments unless if you have items. So I'll show you my website. I do have comments available for her products, but not for necessarily for for regular business like furniture store, Sam Data Solution, and so on and so on. So I'm gonna go into general settings right here. This is the settings. I'm gonna go to general, and here I'm gonna start changing the title. So here is the title you wanted to do, since we're doing that particular website for a friend of mine, Gus and Jack Moving Company. So this is actually a real company for a friend of mine, and I built it for him for free just because we are using it in the class. So he's really happy with that. And this is just the title. The title is going to appear as we do it. Let me turn this off. This is kind of a little annoying. Sorry, I was working on my tablet to update it. It's been a while. At any rate, so the next thing is I'm going to add a tagline. Tagline is it's like it's kind of slogan you want to add to your company. If you have a slogan, it would be a good idea to put it in here. I can change the email to my business email if you want, but I wouldn't do that. I really want to keep it like it is. And here I want to look for Los Angeles time. Let's see, you can click L once, twice until find Los Angeles, because this is our time zone. Then select it. This is how the date's gonna look. This is mainly for comments or updates you do. If you like that, you change it the way you want to. That week start on Monday. That's very good. Save changes. So this is, we set up the general settings. The next thing I'm gonna do is writing right here. So let's see if the college, oh look at that, they allow us to do this. They could in the past it didn't allow us to do anything. Default post format, formatting, you want to convert the emoticons into from this action to a smiley face or wink face or sad face. You can actually allow that. WordPress should correct invalid nested HTML automatically. We're not going to be doing this. When we need to create post right away or pages, if it doesn't give a category, it will put into uncategorized. I will show you how that is done. And default post format is standard. You can do different format if you're interested, but we're gonna keep it standard for now. So we're not gonna touch that. Reading again. Let's see what they can do. Your latest post, we'll come back for this, because WordPress created as a blog and to begin with. So blogs works as post, and based on the post, you can go to that particular post and start chatting with that particular idea or article. Here's if you want to keep it as a post, and I'll show you how. I have some posts, and let me go to. I'll show you how that is done. Let me go to my wife's company, not Tumblr. I want to go to com. If you took my social media class, you've seen all this stuff already. So this is my wife's company, the Zahara Design. I do have, this is a static page, so it does not change for the post, but I do have a post page, which is actually events. So any post I have in here actually goes in there, and I can see it. So this is actually a post page, and the last post appears first. I mean, so, and it goes later and later and later. So this is how the post actually works. So let me leave this here, come back to, I know there have a lot of information here. Now, how many posts you want? You can do 5, you can do and it's kind of things here, and you want to do a full text and summary. We'll come back and talk about this if we can. Just a second, I'm working. And if you want your post to be searchable, then you leave that blank. If you want not searchable, then you check that box. So this discourages your search engines from actually looking into your post. So the next thing I'm gonna go into discussions. This is what I want. If it doesn't allow people to comment, you want to restrict that. There's actually a plugins to stop comments, but instead of going to each post to stop comments, or to make that comment unavailable. But that's okay. Default article, attempt to notify any blogs, link to the form of article. This is kind of information that you can constantly receiving. The comments, I would definitely check this box here, because the person have to log into WordPress to kind of verify its ethnicity. Otherwise, you're gonna get a lot more spam. Automatically close comments on the article are older than 14 days. You can give it shorter or longer. Enable thread of comments to 5 levels deep. So this is replies to replies to replies. And break comments pages every 50 for every 50 posts. I don't care for that for now. I keep comments should be displayed with the older, or maybe the newer. So I might probably want to keep the newer comment on top than the older one. Emailing whenever anyone posts a comment. A comment is held for moderation. A comment must manually approved, because you want to make sure they're not solicitation, they're not spam, and they have a good language. Comment moderations, if you want to add some moderation, and here you can actually add blacklist. Blacklist is the domain name or email for a person who is actually going to do this. Avatar, I have my avatar, which is my login. You can create your avatar and based on your email, and automatically appears here every time you log in. Rating, this is since it's a general website, so we're not gonna have any inappropriate content, so we're gonna keep that rating G. This is actually for browsers, not browser, for search engines. If you're showing rated, R-rated kind of, or X-rated kind of content, you really want to check those. Otherwise, you'll be in a lot of problems with the government, because search engines actually check this property before they allow it to see it. Mystery person, if you don't have an account with avatar, we'll show you this one, or blank, or you can create your own avatar in here. So I'm gonna save changes for now. I like the way it's so far going. The next thing I'm gonna go is my media. The media is when you actually inserting a larger image into your page or post. You can insert it as a thumbnail. Thumbnail is just a smaller aspect of that image, and when you click on it, it shows you the larger image. You can keep the smaller one if you want or not. So here to set up the minimum the thumbnail right here, 150 by 150, and it allow you to crop if you want it, but only for the thumbnail, not the real image. And maximum size is 300 by 300. Again, you can manage that if you want. Okay, let's leave it like that, and we like it. So let's go to Prima link. Prima link, I always change it. It depends how you want to change it. So the plain air here, a lot of people use this. I don't, because if I want to refer people to go to my about page, yeah, when I want to go to my domain name and type about. So I want to do host name right here. So this go to my domain name, and they go to about page. I don't want to go to page 1, 2, 3 or whatever. This is actually a lot better. Category base, this is an tag base. This is something we're not gonna discussing. This is actually for future WordPress users. So save changes. We are actually done with setting up the WordPress the way we want to, and what we're gonna do next is actually start copying and working with information from the real Gus and Jack movement company. So I'm gonna do that in the next video.